For so many people, I think, destination weddings have become so popular over the past few years, but such a hard time for so many brides and grooms over the past year because you're planning a wedding, but then the country is shut down and really the global economy is shut down. To talk a little bit more, let's bring in owner and certified destination wedding specialist for EZTravel, Meg LaRou. Meg, thank you for being with us.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me. Yeah.
So hopefully right now people are starting to be able to plan their weddings. How is it looking?
Um, what's happened, what we're seeing, and we just did a bridal show yesterday. So we got to talk to lots of brides in person. So the ones that have had such a frustration finding their venues because so much has been pushed forward, here in Oakland County. So then they're just throwing up their hands and saying, this is crazy. Let's just do a destination wedding. So we're seeing a lot more of that. And now that they're seeing that travel is opening up a little bit, they're feeling a little more comfortable. And of course, we do all kinds of travel because what happens is people go to the weddings, but then they come back to us for their family vacations. So we're a cruise planners agency. So we have good cruise technology so we can help people with cruises, with all-inclusive resorts, with European tours, so everything. But the weddings, the romance travel, honeymoons, and destination weddings is where we love to work because a lot of those young people haven't really traveled a lot, And so we can really help them. Like they really don't know how to travel. They really don't know how to get their passport or, and especially now they need more help than ever. So it's really fulfilling, to be able to help them plan, especially weddings. I do the weddings. I love them. And my husband does the honeymoons and our three other agents do everything. So
with that, Meg, if I can ask you, how long have you been in the travel industry?
Oh, we've been in the industry about 24 years, but really only selling travel like this for about 9 years.
So what has this past year been like for you?
Oh, well, it was terrible. I mean, it was, it was just, thank the Lord for unemployment. We had, as travel agents, we get paid after people travel. So when people cancel or push their trips forward 1, 2, or 3 times, sometimes 4 times, people are pushing their trips forward. We had 0 income really for about a full 11 months. Wow. So it was really, really tough, and we worked harder than ever because we had to move so many trips forward. So it was terrible, but it's coming back. We're really quite busy again.
Well, that's good to hear, but a little bit challenging though for trying to manage the people who postpone, who now want to reschedule and balance it with new travelers.
Exactly. Yeah, it's a lot more time consuming. We feel like we don't have enough hours in the day,
Well, being busy makes the days go by. I will say, as someone started planning a wedding and then at the last minute canceled and did a destination wedding to Bald Head Island, North Carolina. And I will say I'm so happy that we made that decision. And all of our guests, it was small, but everyone said they had it was one of the most fun that they've had. So are you seeing a trend in going smaller, especially right now because of the pandemic?
Yeah, people are going smaller and the brides are getting more definitive about what they want. And they're saying, what matters to me is maybe my feet in the sand, and whoever can come. And if they can't come, that's okay too. Like they're having to get really, like, if grandma and grandpa or mom and dad won't travel, so be it. This is the wedding I want. And we do a little coaching around that, of course, because ultimately I think every bride needs to have her own wedding, not the wedding her parents want her to have. So, yeah, that's how it's going right now.
So with that, what are some of the popular destination weddings? What are the locations?
Because the brides tend to want their guests to only spend a certain amount of money. Like they don't want them to have to go way over the top. So really Mexico is hugely popular. It's
Well, even now with the pandemic, people are okay with traveling.
oh
Overseas?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We just had a group come back from the Dominican Republic. They had a great time. Yes, people are brides
With that, Meg, I'd be worried that I get stuck over there because I know what if you have to take a COVID test and be negative to get back into the States.
yeah, that's what they're afraid of. That's the main thing. And so what we see, maybe a wedding that had 40 rooms, maybe when they actually travel, maybe they have 25 rooms or 20 rooms because some people just can't do that. But yeah, I'm personally, we've traveled so much in the last 5 months, but we're travelers. So we go and we've been to Mexico, Jamaica, Panama, Costa Rica. So we go where we can work from anywhere. So if we can't come home, that's just fine with us. We always have our computers with us. So
Meg LaRou with us here on the MegaCast. She's the owner and certified destination wedding specialist for EZTravel. I'm jealous of you right now listing all those places you've been to, even more so because they're all warm destinations. And, you know, the weather's not been so pleasant here in Michigan recently.
I know we're getting such a flurry right now of people saying, send me somewhere warm next week. Really, like next, because it's not, spring isn't happening the way we like it to here. So
Meg, with that, if I can ask, when we're talking about destination weddings, are you seeing more people want to stay in Michigan, like maybe do the winery for the weddings? I was in Traverse City this past summer, and I just could not believe the number of weddings and like bridal parties, like, you know, the bridal weekends.
yeah, we see a lot of that. We saw that yesterday at the bridal show. What happens, they just want their guests to be able to drive somewhere. So there's a lot of that. And to be honest, we don't get involved in that kind of wedding. People don't really understand the way travel agents work, but we're paid by resorts or cruise lines or tour companies. We're not very well paid by individual hotels within the US.
Oh,
So we have to earn a living like anyone else. So when people do like a Traverse City wedding, there's not much we can do. If they're a good client and we know them already, we'll reserve a room block for them. But that is so much work for no pay that we only do that type of group block for our good clients that we already know, because I mean, we just need to earn a living, and our US, inside the US, the hotels are not set up to work with travel agents.
see, I learned something new every day. Very interesting. And with that, cruise ships, are people going to start cruising again soon?
Yeah, well, you know, the CDC came out with a huge announcement this week. So for cruise lines that want to start sailing in July and August from the US, so from the Florida ports, if they have like a high percentage of vaccine, I think it was like 98% of travelers vaccinated, 95% of staff, something like that. I might have that reversed. They'll be able to sail starting this summer, and the others will be able to sail as soon as they do their test runs and report the COVID cases. But people don't really understand that there has been cruising for many months now in the South Pacific, in Asia, and starting from Caribbean ports. And of the 400,000 people that have cruised in the last maybe 5 months, I would say, there's been only 70 cases of COVID, which is a very low percentage compared to just people going about their business on land. So it's a little, in my opinion, become a little bit political, but because the cruise lines have been trying and have had these wonderful things in place to take care of if someone gets COVID, for example, in every port of call, they have to have in place a way they can let the person off the ship into a quarantine space. So that's in place for every single port the cruise lines go to. This stuff doesn't get publicized, of course, we know that, but everyone else just goes, cruises, it's scary, scary, but it's actually going to be very, very safe and has been already proven to be very safe.
So with that, Meg, we're talking with Meg LaRou. She's the owner and certified destination wedding specialist for EZTravel. This is why people now more than ever really need a travel advisor, because so many people have stopped using travel agents over the years because of, online. But trying to keep up with these rules and regulations, not just here in the States, but for some of the other countries, and they change so rapidly.
It's crazy. I have, I gave up and took it down. I had a sheet on my wall with all the destinations and all the protocols for 100 different destinations. Well, that lasted about 2 weeks, and I had to take that thing down because everything changes. Every time someone's going to a destination, we have to go back in and refer to what's required to get into the destination and always, of course, what's required to get back home. But we help people through that. I mean, we give them the links, we walk them through it, we tell them what kind of tests they need. It's a lot of work, but in the end, like this wedding that just came back, the bride said, everyone had a great time, no issues. The test was done at the hotel, which I knew that's why we booked that hotel. So everybody had a great time. Nothing bad happened. And so it was, a really good experience in the DR for that big group.
So with that, Meg, do you anticipate that being able to show a vaccination card is going to be required in the travel industry, or do you recommend some of the travelers at least have it because it makes it easier for them?
Ultimately, that's why we got vaccinated. But I don't see it. I understand the cruise lines are going to require it, and some airlines may require it. I don't have a crystal ball, but the little card that you get, to me, could be so easily reproduced. I can't see how they could consider that little card kind of proof that you were vaccinated. So I don't have a crystal ball. I don't know. It's so individual. Like a lot of people are just don't want the government telling them that they have to do something. It's sort of not the democracy we live in. But I don't know. I don't really advise people. Like if people, I can't say, well, go get vaccinated and then you'll be able to travel. I don't make that statement to people.
So do you find that some of the countries that you're working with, do they require it? Are they asking for it? Or is it maybe just recommended, but the negative COVID test is required?
Some countries require a negative COVID test. I'd say probably, I feel like the majority. Mexico's not, and that's great. I believe the Dominican Republic is not, but Jamaica does, and some countries like Costa Rica require extra insurance, a specific type of quarantine insurance. So that's a whole other thing to put into the mix when people want to go to Costa Rica, and it's not real cheap. So it really is kind of country by country.
So much to keep up with. We're talking with Meg LaRou. She's the owner and certified destination wedding specialist for EZTravel. And with that, Meg, I would imagine it's a benefit for everyone to get travel insurance then.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Oh, well, yeah, I almost shove it down their throat, to be honest. We've always offered travel protection. We always have. Things can come up, a couple's kid can get sick and they have to stay home, and just the regular travel protection we've always offered. But now, with so many people wanting to, push it forward just because they're not comfortable traveling, that is not a covered reason for an insurance claim. Just not being comfortable going, unless you get this cancel for any reason. And so that we're selling much more of that. So yeah, I would say 98% of travelers now are buying insurance and requesting it before we even offer it. But it's a whole conversation, which type of insurance is the best one for them, and you balance it against the cost of the insurance and all of that.
So with that, Meg, too, any hot deals right now, or are the deals going away as more and more people are comfortable traveling?
Yeah, but we're seeing the package prices aren't too bad, but what we're seeing is while the hotels are offering good deals, good pricing, like a free night or 40% off or this or that, the airlines are not. So the airlines are struggling to stay afloat. Well, I don't know if that's true. I'm guesstimating this, okay? But they haven't had business for so long. Now, we're seeing crazy fluctuations in airline prices. Things that used to be $550 are now $800, or, really higher prices just to go to the Caribbean. And so that kind of puts the package back to where it normally is. Like, it doesn't, what we're saving people in their room, they're having to pay in the air. So it's not like there was a time when things first started to open up that it was like, oh, good deals, grab them. And that's not exactly what's happening right now. The demand is almost outpacing the supply in the air world for sure.
Oh, so with that, the good deals go away.
Yeah.
Meg LaRou with us here on the MegaCast. Meg, any last minute tips that you can offer before we say goodbye?
I would just say, and while we've seen millennials especially using travel agents more over the last 3 or 4 years, that's been picking up anyway. I would say, whatever you do, use a travel advisor. That would be my real, let someone have your back 24/7 while you're traveling. Like, we give them our mobile number. Call me in the middle of the night if something comes up. It doesn't matter. And when you go cheap Caribbean, do something like that, you're not talking to a real person at 3 a.m. with your travel issue that has come up. So I say for anybody, use a travel advisor now more than
right, especially because if I get stuck overseas, I want someone that I can reach out to.
Right, a real person. Yeah.
Have you had that happen to any of your clients?
Well, we get calls a lot. We get calls every time someone has a flight delay and they're concerned that they're going to miss their transportation to the resort. They call us and we say, go have a drink. We'll take care of this. We'll call you back. We've got you. So that's pretty much, yeah, we get these calls a lot, because the airlines are so overstressed right now. So yeah, we get it. We get all kinds of crazy things happening, but.
Well, on the backside of that, you get to travel to some amazing places and see some incredible sights. Meg LaRou with us, owner and certified destination wedding specialist for EZTravel. If you need more information, you can find it on their website. Meg, great having you. I learned so much just talking to you.
Good. Thank you. Thanks for having me. It was fun. Yeah.